How's this thing doing? Well, hello! My name is Eli, and I am your social media surgeon. September is coming up terrifyingly fast, which means it is time for us to get prepared for Social Media September. So you say, what the hell is Social Media September? It's a decent question, and I'll walk you through that real fast. So, Social Media September is a theme month where we're going to bring all the NetSquared community together, and we're all going to do events in our own communities and also online. So it has 4 different flavors. Think of it as a menu of things that you can select. So the number 1 piece is the bread and butter event that we do here at NetSquared, and it's the social media, like it's a panel or presentation style format. We've got a guide here, but really, this is your core skill. This is what you know what to do. So I'm just going to give you a little ejection, whoop, and we'll move on, because you don't need more on that. There's also the social media surgery, a format we've stolen from our friends in the UK. I'll go into more details about this. We've got all sorts of supports to help make these easier. But basically, it is one-on-one help around social media and digital campaigning for the members of our community. The third thing is we're going to be doing a global tweet chat. So we're going to try and do a tweet chat going basically across most of the time zones of the world. So we're going to select a different topic with each group, and then we're going to pass the baton on to the next person, and they will take their topic for an hour, and then we'll go. We should bring in a big global conversation. It'll be amazing. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take these in-person social media surgeries, but we're going to also try doing a virtual version, and that will be done with a Google Plus Hangout. So that'll be a chance for those who don't have a venue or want to participate in other ways to come in and share their expertise with a patient who is not necessarily in their community. So you say, this is all big and complicated, I'm terrified. Don't be, because I have put this stuff out into a fancy little wiki. And so we've documented out and offered some support along the way. So let me walk you through what's here on the wiki. The number 1 thing is this link right here. Want to hold an event? Click here. This takes you to a form where it just says, like, these are the event formats I'm most interested in. Like, let me sign up. And then I can follow up with extra support or mail you fun things. So if we go in here, there's a social media panel. That's that first format. If we go into that section, you'll see that there is a nice document here, which is a multi-page document which sort of guides you through all the steps of doing a panel-style event, from identifying what your topic could be, how you would recruit your guest speakers, and also some discussion starting questions. And it looks a little bit like this. Lots and lots of detail in here. So you can go in, steal the ideas that are good for you, ignore the others that aren't, but this should really kickstart any kind of panel event you may want to do. The second section is a little bit more full, and that's the social media surgery section. And so right here what we've got is basically a couple of sections, which is we start off with just what is a social media surgery and what's the recipe. And you'll see here it's basically 4 bullet points. It's actually super loose, super easy. It's not a highly structured event. And then I've got a couple sub-pages, which are a bit more like what does a social media surgery look like, with some blog posts from members of our community. I've got some info here on promoting a social media surgery, and that includes like pre-written draft emails you can play with, which are for the actual invitation and meetup that you will send out to your members, as well as an invitation to potential surgeons. And then there's also a bit of like some guides for like where would you find your surgeons, and I provide some links to things like social media clubs and hoot-ups and other kinds of pre-existing communities of social media experts you can call on. And then I've got a section on tips for social media surgeries. Mostly those tips are, don't worry, they'll work out well. I also include a sample survey you can use. It's just a Google form, so you can just duplicate it and use it for yourself. And that's a way for you to pre-survey the participants in your surgery and get a sense from them what they are actually looking to learn. And then you can do some loose pre-matching with your social media surgeons. Then, hence me dressed up ridiculously, we've also got a bit on the social media costume kit. And this is basically my way to help identify you as the leaders of these social media surgeries, give people something funny to do so they can sort of dress up, and mostly it'll just kind of be ridiculous. And sometimes ridiculous is good enough. You'll also see we've got a little section here on documenting your social media surgery. And so I've basically got the hashtag we're going to share across the entire event. And then I've got some ideas for like how you could capture videos from the events, how you can actually go and capture some of the outcomes on the social media surgery site, and like where you'd upload your photos should you take any, all that jazz. So that is the social media surgery format. We're always here if you have any other questions. The other half of this event are the virtual events. And so you'll see we have the global tweet chat. We don't have the full details for this yet. Around August 15th, we will put out the full details. But essentially, it's going to be a pretty standard tweet chat, and your responsibility will be to identify a subtopic within social media for social good you want to talk about, and then you come up with 6 to 8 questions. And then basically every 8 minutes or so, you drop a new question into Twitter using the hashtag, and then you sort of look at people's responses. You follow up on some of them and say like, tell me more. You basically facilitate that discussion. And then at the end of it, we'll wrap it all up into a Storify, and after an hour, your time is up, and we pass it on to the next person. If you've ever participated in the Community Builder tweet chat, which happens every Tuesday, we're basically stealing from that group. And then the last piece is the social media surgery I just talked about, except this will be done in Google Plus Hangouts. We'll have more details on the timing of this so we can start signing people up at the beginning of September, and we'll probably do this later in September. Michael at TechSoup will be leading the charge on this one. And then I wrap the page up with a couple frequently asked questions, which are, there's 4 different formats. How many of those do you have to do? 1 if you want, 0 if you're feeling a little lazy, 4 if you're feeling kind of ultra keen. Think of it sort of, as I said, like a menu. You get to select what you will from it. The next question people have had for me is, do I have to do this in September? I'm already booked up. And the answer to that is no. The virtual events are going to all be scheduled for September, but you are really welcome to take any of these other event formats and hold them any month of your choosing. And then, of course, if you want to find out more, give me a shout. That's email me at my regular email address, or talk to net2@techsoup.org, and they will give you some help. And that is Social Media September. So easy, and yet ridiculously fun. Again, give me a shout and sign up.